interchangeable in their own rights on Vitality. All of them are great, goal scorers. All of them are great mechanical players at the same time. Heck, when during the warm-up, Ferry Peak and Alpha were just 1v1, and it was fantastic fun to just see those lads warm up there. But as we get onto the pitch, Jay, Oxygen in blue, Vitality in the orange, 5 minutes on the clock, and great to see these players ready and just absolutely jumping straight into things.
Now got a long little road ahead of them though. Best of 7 rules for our final day. All matches played out under best of 7. We'll see whether Renault Vitality or Oxygen Esports can come out on top in a marathon match. It's Astral and Joessi here on the quick breakaways, trying to find their way into the offensive line. Vitality playing back and forth though. The initial kickoff went the way of Oxygen for the offensive. They weren't able to score anything. Neither of Vitality on the return though. You've got Ferra here with control, challenging on Ferry Peak off the sideboard. That ball will bounce. Joessi comes in trying to find Ferra as well, but the backboard is a little bit too inaccurate, and Astral can't quite take the best amount of control. Will pass into his teammate, but 2 players there to intercept it. Back into Ferra's position now. So he works off this corner, steals out 100, needs some backup because he can't solo play against this defensive that's been bolstered here by Vitality.
Ferry's going to be the player I'm going to be watching closest here, Jay. Over the last couple of days, he's sort of been the most quiet one on this pitch, and that could just be straight down to his new role on this team. We know he's the captain, like we said before. Seems more like he's dictating from the back, and hence why he's not getting as many, goal scoring opportunities, not getting as many points up on the board. But he still has to fit in when it's needed. But that is dirty.
That slight chip from Alpha through Joessi's defensive line completely off, and that is a way to start here for Vitality. An opening goal, first blood of the day, going away of the Frenchman. Joessi looking to quickly make returns of his own right here. He's got corner control. Alpha challenging Astral. Coming up for Ferra to the backboard. Joessi in position to try and strike of his own accord. Bump in, coming into the defensive, and Joessi challenged by Alpha in this one. Astral beaten out. Alpha awkward ball. Could get challenged by Ferra on the right-hand side, but he only goes so far as to push it onto the backboard and keep the pressure going for Oxygen. A couple of big misses from K-Dot, but he's got plenty of backup there in the backline. Vitality have been very, very sturdy on the defensive.
Yeah, good eyes on Alpha there to be able to back up K-Dot. Wasn't able to get the touch and pull a double commit there, but absolutely fine if it's, going to save your bacon. Astral coming through here with a good touch. Wait, good defense once again. What less do you expect from Vitality?
Just about held away there by the one good challenge. Could have been much better, of course, but it's not quite as easy to make that happen. Oh, Ferry Peak's got Alpha there to back up his double tap. A little bit too far wide to the backboard, so Alpha gets 2 on the Vitality board.
I'm watching that going. Did Ferry Peak intentionally hit to the ball? I think it's just a slight little miss. But when you're looking at this team and how Alpha is chasing up on that, it gives you the intention, gives you that sort of thought in your mind. Is that planned by Vitality? Because it looks so set in stone.
Alpha, 20 points of boost. Astral coming into the sideboard, bounce Ferry Peak. 100 boost, he's got to try and steal away. Joessi coming in off the sideboard as Ferra and Astral go into the side. Astral going to go back at the backboard once again. Oxygen have been really struggling to generate the offensive in the last about 30 seconds or so. Inside that box, an awkward cross to the clear. They will find their way back out to the orange half, and Astral get it so far as to try and put it close to the right in front of the net. All 3 players committing on the clear away, and it's successful for Vitality, so there's no chance for Oxygen to respond to this one. Pass infield. Alpha going to try beat out 1 second touch. Can't get his on the backboard of his own right, but Ferry Peak is there to receive that back pass, using the wall of all things to set that up. 3-0, Vitality are on a roll.
Alpha with 2 fakes in that play, leaving the ball, letting it roll across. You saw there, because Joessi was going in for the block, so he just lets it roll across, pulls out Joessi, takes it to the wall, and then doesn't get the second touch to put it towards the center, again pulling out another player. Alpha with the mind games here, and I mean, easy for me to say, it looks so simple, but just to have the bravery and trust in your teammates that is going to come off is incredible.
Well, here's the thing, moves like that and play like that is so complex. And yet Vitality make it look like spreading butter to bread, 4-0. And this team is just dominating in the start of this series.
Yeah, good reactions as well there from Ferry. Saw the opportunity to dive at ball, get it in there. Great stuff, 4-0. And what I can ask here right now, Jay, is Danny Boy predicting you a curse right now? Because I don't think he's got a single prediction right. Actually, he did predict Liquid once. It was a 3-0. He predicted, came out 3-2. They just scraped past.
That doesn't count. He predicts Liquid every time. It doesn't matter who they're up against.
True.
They could literally, hold on. Oh, not quite from sure set. They could literally be on like against the best team in the world and he still predict them. Doesn't matter. 4-0 right now for Vitality, and they are looking like the best in show today. 35 seconds. This game's already done here, Bacon. Another play off to a very open backline. Shortset is there to hold the defense, spare the fifth. But there's no way Oxygen are bringing this scoreline back. They've got to look towards game 2 and readjust to figure this out. Pass in, but it's not received here by Astral. Goes right into the hands of the Vitality defense as they play off backboard in. Shortset takes it up high. Astral back in towards Ferra. Good passing play to receive a shot. K-Dop's there to block. Shortset, one final chance to recover it. Ferry Peak beats into the ball. And the last 10-second countdown confirms that which we already know. Maybe one more goal from K-Dop. Almost. A bit too high, a bit too wide. Ferra taking it out. And off this backboard, Astral's going to make sure that ball hits the floor. Wow, what a way to open this series of Vitality. That was just dominant from the word go.
Yeah, and normally, Jay, you'd be asking me, okay, what do Oxygen have to do to step this up now? And the simple response is everything. They didn't really show anything in that first game. Their attack's a little bit lackluster. Defense has got a lot to be worked on as they're just getting pulled out left, right, and center. Vitality playing like a fiddle. And so it's hard to actually analyze like one specific area to nail down on because there are so many different options this team could take right now. And realistically, they're going to have to work that out during game 2, which I'm going to say right now is probably going to be Vitality's once again because Oxygen have to figure out different strats and how to dismantle Vitality here. And they've got to do it in real time, which means, you know, time's ticking. They're going to be happy that's a best of 7. You know, they've got another one they can throw away, but it's not a good start for OXG.
I mean, to be fair, though, like a lot of their issues crop up from the fact that Vitality were playing so confidently. They were always there to receive ball positions and intercept passing plays or, you know, control the midfield, control the defensive, control the offensive. They were so confident in all facets of the game right here that Oxygen just, no matter what they did, they couldn't find a response.
Well, and that's it. If Oxygen go, okay, let's try out demos. Let's try and remove them, see if that messes with their rotation. They would then learn afterwards, oh, it does mess with their rotation. Okay, good. We keep with that and we'll try and find an opening. If not, then they've got to find another answer. So time is ticking right now on the clock, and they're just hoping that one of their methods actually results in a good answer. Right now, they've got to find defense as well, because that's being called into question. 2 defenders to keep that shot out from Alpha is scary.
You mentioned the bump plays. We're already seeing some come through into that Vitality backline. Ferra couldn't bump them out of the way to set up an Astral shot. Still short set to the back. Astral's got to take some defensive. He's bumped out of the way. But they're all right. Oh, Alpha off the crossbar. Ferry Peak will follow suit from the center line. There is a goal for Vitality. And, well, anything you can do, we can do better. 1-0 for BIT.
Oh, you just feel sorry for Joessi there. He had to cover the ground in case it was put on the far right post, which naturally you think that shot would be, but just leaving it. Vitality here, Jay, are not playing pretty. They're not, you know, hitting highlight clips like you'd normally expect from them, but they're so practical. This is functionality over form Rocket League right now.
And it's perfect for them, you know, they haven't missed a single beat. Oxygen unable to score a single goal thus far. Short set moving into that corner will try and find some sort of pressure, but they're just beaten to the ball by Alpha. He's got it out to the midfield, gonna have to try and contest Astral, unable to get his touch in. Astral now has control alongside Short Set, but very peaks there to challenger. Short Set looks for the midfield control, passing back into Ferra, shot off the backboard, a bit too high, a bit too wide. So now the accuracy and confidence starting to get hurt on OXG. Astral continues flipping, using all of his boost, but still could not set anything up here in the offense.
Yeah, and that's just because he decided to slow it down when really he shouldn't have. That's going to be an awkward clearance put out wide. Astral very slow to pick up on that, and they've got to just pick up the pace right now, Auction. This current pace, Vitality just is not struggling at all. So either Auction, you pick it on up and try and just outmaneuver your opponents, or they slow it down to a halt, but I don't think that's going to be above Vitality, who is just so set in stone right now.
Ball up, sure, set off to the box, not on center, not for a shot. We'll try sort of the backboard again for Astral to come in and take his goal, but just not enough power behind it. Oh, and look at this play here from Alpha, challenged by Kadoff as well. And Vitality not able to go past the line and score that goal, but still getting close here just by the fake touches. 2.5 minutes to go, and it's a 1-0, about to be 2-0, not quite. Ferra just barely gets his touch onto that one and hold the defensive in the left-hand side of that net. But Alpha still has control and pressure from the corner, bouncing it into that box, taken away by Ferra, right back down the other end of the field. Vitality are there to respond.
And I'm going to be intrigued at the moment that Auctions start to expect these fakes, because naturally that shot just then from Alpha, you have to go up and block. He left it as good. A second man was there to pick on up from Auction, but wow, that working off the defense is a masterclass here. Auction just getting tied up in their own shoelaces, and they can't do anything about it.
And it's starting to look concerning. Yes, it is only game 2 out of best of 7, but a response needs to come through at some point here for this blue half. Look at a challenge from Alpha, sending it up, almost getting a second touch on target. He has to get taken to the box and crossed out to a clear. Now Ferra, the backboard into Astral, taken away by Ferry. Pete Kadoff comes forward, passes into Alpha. Good touch in the receiver, a bit too far wide. But this pressure is just going to stall for time here, and there's only so much of it left of this clock. Oxygen running out of opportunities and running out of options here. Double bounce with short set. Alpha comes into the backboard. Astral will come in to try and contest on the defense. Ferra gets a good challenge on Fairy Peak as well. That minute gong is about to sound, and Oxygen have made no further steps forward against this 2-0 scoreline.
Yeah, Auction are just trying to get this ball out of defense as quick as they can, and it's not working. Vitality's predictions right now is just covering every single angle and clearance path. They need to take it a bit slower, keep on the dribble, and then pass it between themselves. They're just throwing it down to the midfield line, and it's just getting met out by Vitality time and time again.
Great opportunity there for Vitality. Almost having themselves a goal out on that one with 40 seconds. The defense holds its own here for Oxygen. At least they are not conceding anything more since that half-time marker. Alpha finds his way into the offense again, and the majority of the offense has been held by Vitality. Ferra up, Astral coming in, good challenge again, leaves it for short set now. 40 points to boost, good carry is quite close, but again, a good challenge for Ferry P coming off that backboard boom back to the blue net. Astral will take that away. Put in by Alpha, on target, just saved by Ferra, but still right inside that box. Alpha has control, is challenged, big miss from Ferry P. Ferra will chase that downfield, but he's out of time, and that final clear will seal game 2-0. Angle to be scored, just about put away by Kadoff. To score one on the buzzer, it will be a 3-0 game to the Vitality.
And 7-0 in the goal department. What can you say, Jay? This has just been perfect from Vitality. An S+ performance, and Auction right now, again, not playing bad. There's saves that are coming through, like that right on the end by Ferra was incredible. That's highlight worthy as it is itself. But when you're not able to get any goals down, that's your biggest problem. Auction, they're not able to get that ball transition downfield, and then when they do finally get it downfield, they just don't have the boost to finish it off. This is going to be a very difficult task for them, as they've decided to go over a couple of bumps and demos there, Jay. You mentioned it during the broadcast, and I mean, I saw a moment there where Short Set was able to get a double demo. Alpha was downfield on his own, was able to hold it downfield, steal a corner boost away from Oxygen, and then come back into the rotation. And Vitality was so safe. And that's the biggest problem. Oxygen right now do not have an answer still, and it's 2 games into the series. I mean, for Vitality, they're probably looking at this and going, right, we're halfway there. That's fine, another 2 and we're done into the finals, and just gotta wait 2 hours until the next challenger comes to lose against us.
Say arrogant thinking if that's the closing line to that particular statement, but you're right about the whole 2 hour thing. That's the thing, Vitality are playing lights out. I don't know if you saw that shot differential between Oxygen and Vitality in that last game, but it was something like 11 shots to 2. Something ridiculous. Their pressure play has been unmatchable so far here in this matchup, and they will continue with those plays. Alpha with an opener for Vitality, and less than 30 seconds into the game as well.
And a nice passing play. Alpha's cut across there is just so unusual in the grand scale of Rocket League. You hardly ever see a player coming from that angle, and that could be partly why Oxygen again is so thrown off here, where Vitality are playing very much a normal rotation, very normal style of Rocket League, and then for the final portion they throw it into a loop and just bring something out of the box, and every single time Oxygen do not know what to expect. We've seen those fakes come through. You saw very unconventional positioning, and Oxygen just don't know how to predict Vitality.
Oxygen right now are trying to bring their own unconventional plays in the offense. A good weird sort of zero angle play coming out from Ferra a moment ago, but taken back into the blue side offensive once again. Vitality just not letting them get many chances. Cleared out to the midfield, put back in by Alpha to Ferry Peak, bit too far wide. He looks for his second touch and almost got it as well. And Joessi get bumps out, open net. Okay, here we go. First goal for Oxygen. Welcome to the game, Scrubs. Finally, a big overcommitment punished over on that blue side.
Double commit there from Alpha and K-Dot. Like you said, the first goal coming through from a massive mistake from Vitality. And you talked about arrogance earlier. I was saying they're rightfully arrogant. Maybe that's a sign of it there. The problem for Oxygen now is they've got that one from a mistake of Vitality. The second to come through has to be of their own back, especially since Alpha's sending the ball downfield like that.
Astral up into the box, taken away by Fairy Peak, back on to Alpha. Ferra's going to be contested. Joessi comes up and over to the backboard. It's K-Dot down and out position. Good challenge again from Alpha and Fairy Peak. Ferra has control off to the center. K-Dot backboard, not quite his second touch. He will actually get missed out from Joessi instead. Ooh, he blocks the shot from Fairy Peak. That might throw them off for a moment, but Alpha still goes in for a double tap and almost scores it as well. The defensive Oxygen now holds true as Astral finds Ferra. Good shot to the wide hand side, so not to be in this one, but a good couple of efforts coming in. Oxygen are turning up the heat.
They definitely are. Their pace has just been upped by a couple of kilometers per hour. What they're trying to do with the ball, keeping it close to themselves, getting a little bit more mechanical, is working as we come up to his halfway mark. Ferra's got the setup there, but Astral a little bit too slow, a little bit too late to the ball. But that is just going to patch its way through.
They really love that left-hand side, don't they? Joessi up to the right, going high once again into Ferra. Challenge goes to the left corner. K-Dot beats out Joessi. Joessi will leave it for Astral, but Fairy Peak comes into the backboard. Perfect chance for a second touch. He whiffs it. Vitality are unable to score the lead once again. Ferra goes back on target, taken away by K-Dot on the rotation. And Renault Vitality trying to rotate up to the offensive, but they've had a lot more pressure on their net compared to the previous games in this series. Alpha going to try and deal with that by demoing out the clear passing from K-Dot to Ferry. K-Dot trying to fake it, and it goes wide once again. Couldn't get a second touch in, but that one Alpha here with another opportunity. Going to take it in right on point blank. K-Dot also contested. The bump's coming through. Rule 1 inserted, or Rule 2, but only broken up for the moment. The bump not quite turning away the defensive as Oxygen hold the line.
I have to say as well, coming into this series, we talked about how Ferra had been a bit quiet and needed to really turn it up. As the captain, he's been doing exactly that in this game 3, and has been what has held Oxygen at a stalemate against Vitality.
K-Dot set up for Fairy Peak again for the dribble play, going in solo against Ferra. Challenged easy. Astral comes forward and Ferra thinking out Alpha 54 in this one. The backboard can't get his second touch. May have been allowed K-Dot for chance anyway, but Joessi holds that defense on the line. Renault Vitality are getting closer and closer to scoring these goals, but they're just being contested. Oh, Ferra blocked by Alpha. Inches away from the second goal for OXG, but not to be.
Good launch there. Ferra, though, keeps that back line strong. He's been an absolute tank so far today. Astro and Joessi inching closer themselves, though, Jay, to being able to get that goal. I'm worried about that sort of second attack. They quite often just throw it towards net, hoping that something will stick. Not quite yet, though. Final 30 seconds, still 1-1.
Joessi off the sideboard now, challenged again by Renault Vitality, trying to get offensive here. Good play, beats out one. Alpha set up perfectly. Astral takes that away instead. Challenges continue from Vitality as the backline's been spread thin, but Joessi finds his pass, breaks out to the orange corner now. Ferra, leaving this for Astral, passing towards Ferra, the one last final. Ferra! Oh, he's got it! Yes, he has! Oxygen on the buzzer, managed to get their first game.
Did it earlier, Ferra stepping up, Astral with the layoff, but what a close angle. Ferra having to thread the needle and gets Oxygen back in this series. It might have looked dire, it might have looked like Vitality could have 4-0'd this series, but Ferra puts the team on his shoulders. He's a big old unit and he can carry them. Oxygen get one game back. Is there a chance for a second, Jay?
It may well be. I mean, they've started to improve their stats. The shot count is still pretty ridiculous for Vitality, but all in all, when it comes to possession, Oxygen had the majority of it. And I definitely feel like they had most of the control in that one thanks to that, you know? I mean, they were still pushed back and pressured very heavily by the opposition, but for the most part, they were able to handle it very, very well. That defensive in particular was so strong from OXG.
So it's a weird one for that, okay, Jay? Oxygen felt like they had more control of the ball, and just quickly having a look at the stats on screen right now, they did, but only slightly, but Vitality had better control of the pitch as a whole. So Oxygen have found the answer, and that is just to keep the ball to themselves a little bit more. Like, don't allow Vitality to have the ball. Pretty simple logic behind that. But now I think they need to find that second half to the game, try and find a way to keep Vitality into their own half, to just push them back. And it's all going to be coming down to Oxygen focusing on that pressure and seeing if Vitality will crack.
Well, game 4 and Oxygen have found their way into this series. It's now Alpha and Co get already in the offensive. Look at Ferry. Oh, he's got it! What a touch indeed! 15 seconds and once again they score the opener.
Where do you get off thinking that that is possible? Fairy Peak is on another plane of existence right now. Being able to pull something like that off of just one of his wheels to get the goal. Ludicrous.
Oh, I thought Astro had a similar touch there, but there was one player back in the net to defend against him. The slow balls coming in from both offensives. They are just about working out. Not able to get one back for OXG as they are pushed into their half once again. Astral getting that 100 boost. He's going to need it to beat out Alpha. Needs one of his teammates to come forward though, and Ferry Peak gains control first. Sets up Cade up. Good redirect back in. Ferry Peak light touches, and Astral takes it back to the orange half. Vitality still have control over this ball though. Now it's Alpha with his touch. Flip reset. Beats. Not quite the second man. Does beat the first though. Ferry Peak up, Ferra having to take that one out. K-Dop set up perfectly for it though. Backboard in, Joessi able to come out far enough to get that ball away from Ferry Peak. Still the challenges in the midfield. And Oxygen going to get their chance to strike here only for a moment. Astral shots on, that's going in. That's 1-1.
And you can see Vitality now respecting their opponents so much more. Jay, they've gone into more defensive rotations. They pulled themselves back. They're not looking to keep that pressure so much. And it means that they're not going up to challenge, and they're not 50-50 in. Oxygen. Oxygen are being given space here, and they're being able to roam with it.
Bounce. Ball up to Ferry Peak, no boost for him. Good shot in from Alpha, bit too far wide. Astral take away from that one as a result, beating K-Dop. No boost for him. Ferra comes up. Challenge from Fairy Peak again to roughly into the offensive box. Play from short set again, sets it up closer. Astral coming down now. He misses entirely. Hasn't got enough air for him. I don't think he had enough boost either. And then forced back into the orange half as Fairy Peak is beaten out by short set. The defensive challenge is still looking good here for OXG. It's K-Dot. We're going to slow the pace down a little bit. And Vitality. Try to see if they can force a misstep from Oxygen with the slowdown.
Yeah, and it's that interesting point of Oxygen want to get right up in your grill. Vitality looking to have so much distance between their players. And it's coming out. Who is the stronger? The quick change up there. K-Dot to G up alongside his teammate Very Big. And this is such a beautiful show of versatility and Vitality's gameplay.
And that is the reason why I picked them to win this series. Players like that to generate out of seemingly nowhere. Oxygen weren't ready for that. Look at Shorset though. Look at Shorset not able to challenge. And again, it's simple stuff and Vitality to 50-50 their way out against that K-Dot to Fairy Peak, and they'll continue the offensive pressure. Half time now, 2-1 on this board. Vitality look to extend their lead. Shorset now coming forward alongside Ferra. The sideboard bounce. Astral now has control, challenged and beaten by the Vitality midfield. And there has been midfield control so far for these players. Alpha now, here with a dribble up, trying to beat out two. No, it's past them both actually. Shorset is the main man to defend against it as the ball runs out of momentum and Alpha runs out of boost. 100 picked up the midfield, the ball goes close, but no follow-up from OXG. They are way too far back. Astral putting this up for one. This could be very dangerous for them, and K-Dot almost takes his chance, but unable to finish the job.
Yeah, and I can't blame Astral there. If Shorset was quicker and knew what was going on, because it probably wasn't called from the response there, that could have turned in such a quick transition and a goal for Oxygen. Astral trying to force it, and you can see Oxygen playing at such a high pace. It's not as natural to them, but Astral has given them that option. And it's close to the mark right now. Oxygen just need one little opening.
Astral and Shorset round in the corner, taking out two players. Actually, this could be a very dangerous defensive. They're kind of overcommitted to this one. Bounce out's not going to go back directly to the center. Alpha losing control of the ball, but no one's there to challenge it for OXG. So Caleb can come forward. Alpha has the midfield now. Puts it into the box, and Ferra has got to take that out. Oxygen have stalled. They need to find a kickstart. A minute to go, and there's still a goal down. Renault Vitality on their way in. They're going to continue to try and strike back. Ferra may have beaten out an advantage now coming forward alongside Shorset. Good shot coming out, but no. Taken away by Fairy Peak. Astral back passing. I don't know if I like that one there, Bacon. That could have looked very, very awkward. Again, Vitality with a chance to punish, and that just wastes time, most importantly. Oxygen are running low on it. 40 seconds to the clock. They need to score just one.
They do. And it is a hard task. Vitality keeping so much possession of this ball. Fairy Peak not going to be able to catch up with Shorset there. Ferra does get past one, but massive demo!
Oh no, not quite. Pass back into Astral though. Ferra just able to deny it. And now Alpha here with the boost, or lack thereof, I should say. Astral now beats him, beats out a second, gonna take this to the corner, try to find a redirect. Shorset and Ferra gonna come forward. Good shot, Alpha blocks, follow up. Where's Astral? There it is. Higher the mark, no one can get towards it. Astral gonna try and find one. Oh, so close, but no. K-Dot tips it away from the line, and what could have been a beautiful play to secure it goes back to the favor of Vitality. 3-1 now in the series. They're on match points.
What a read at the end by K-Dot there. The whole goal ready for Alpha to shoot down on, but K-Dot knows exactly where he's putting it and keeps it out. Match point, like you say, to Vitality, Jay. And whilst things are getting a little bit sketchy for the lads, you can still feel that they are not cracking under that pressure. And look at the stats here. Very similar to game 3. It's just that case of Vitality have now learned what Oxygen are doing and can predict and expect it that much better.
Well, OXG have made slight improvements, but the pressure is once again back on them. Can they make the adjustments they need to try and reverse the situation here? 3 games in a row to take this best of 7 here and avoid the lower bracket, but I'll be honest, just the level of play that Vitality are bringing to the table right now, it's too much to handle. 15-second goals, getting early advantages, and then suddenly OXG feel like they're going to stall for a bit. As we go to game 5, and well, prayers are set in that blue side camp. Already Vitality getting off to that blue corner. Couldn't quite keep the pressure in this one, so all in all, it's Astral that takes control. Door set. Completely leaving that ball again for one of his teammates to come forward, but they can be beating them so easily. And whenever they leave this ball alone for any moment of time, I feel like, oh, it's Vitality that come out on top with a pass play, laser beam right to the net. Again, it's an opener for the Frenchman.
And this is like a classic from Vitality. This is home cooking for the Frenchman. Just that infield pass and an absolute screamer of a shot redirected towards net. I was wondering where it had gone, but here they pulled it out in what could possibly be the last game of the series.
Certainly could look like it the way that Renault Vitality have been playing. Oxygen with a chance to respond. Joessi setting up Ferra. Awkward defense coming in the back line. Joessi still beats out one of the midfield players, but Ferry Pete knows exactly where that ball's going to. And Cade up there to receive it. Ferra can't quite get to the ball. Joessi does though. Back into the corner, the Alpha's going to play this. Oh, this is perfect. This is so perfect, but still not on. Oxygen, a last-second rotation to get back to the defense and hold their own. Astral back on, taken away by K-Dot just by the skin of his teeth here. Renault Vitality still holding the on, and the commitment from Oxygen will get punished. 2-0, that clutch defense works wonders for the orange side.
And that flip there is ludicrous by Alpha to pop that over to. I love Fairy Peak waiting in the wings behind, ready to jump on that one. Sees Alpha's got this and just leaves it be. Goes off to the side, picks up some boost. He knows Alpha's got that second.
Joessi off the backboard now, dribble plays, he's got plenty of control, passes out to Ferra, but Ferra misses. What could have been fantastic, Astral still tries to recover it, but Oxygen playing off the corner in the midfield, falling back after perfect opportunities to get one back. The setup comes through from Ferry Pete, tries to drop it down for a teammate. Ferra gets involved. Astral up, passing into Joessi. K-Off inserts himself in challenges, and now Ferra's got his dribble plays now. Challenging Ferry Pete. Joessi able to find his way in. It's challenged by the defensive of Vitality. They return back to the blue half again, just keep this pressure rolling. And so long as they can do that, they've won this game and this series thanks to a 2-goal deficit. Oxygen need to pick up the pace. Chance for Joessi again, way too far wide, and the defensive holds. And yes, it does.
Yeah, it just keeps on holding. There might as well just be a brick wall in front of that orange net here on Wasteland, because Vitality have built themselves the strongest defense in Rocket League. Joessi with a clearance downfield, but he needs teammates ready. That 50-50 from Ferry Peak will slow things down, but again, slows things down, which means Oxygen can get into attack, but Vitality can get into defense. It doesn't win out, it doesn't help either side. That bump slows things down, but Astral can keep on it. 1 of 2 needed goals.
How long it took for them though, this setup. 1, 2, 3, 4-ish seconds of an open net, couldn't quite strike back. If there was a rotation coming in, Vitality would have held that. So one misstep will send this to within 1. A chance opening up for Oxygen, but they need to capitalize on it. And look at how quick Vitality get to the offense. They are not letting up, not for a single moment here. Oxygen can have every chance taken away if Vitality can help it. Astral up here against Alpha, going to try and beat him out. He slowed the pace down again, trying to force a misstep from his opposition. And Alpha back up as Ferry Peak puts that close, and it's a second touch in to allow Cade up the swing in, go for a dunk down chance. It's challenged again by the defensive of Oxygen. On this corner, they play it out to try and clear, but no chance presenting itself. Vitality in with the challenge, is so thick and fast.
Yeah, and you saw just a moment ago in the corner there, Ferry Peak. He only had 20 boosts, but he still lingered on the ball because it was disrupted. Again, those sort of plays are what is keeping Oxygen on their toes and keeping them, quite frankly, out of the winning position. It's just Vitality's confidence in each other, their communication is absolutely on point, and being able to just edge out every single opponent they face.
Vitality edging out every shot coming through against them. Look at the challenges though. Turn back, very peak there for the defensive line. There's always a player. There is always at least one man back far enough. Pinch away to the midfield. Short set will try to take control. Alpha leaving this for K-Dot. K-Dot comes up off the backboard. Ferra misses perfectly open. No, short set just gets involved in time. And Ferra tries to make his way in against Alpha. Touch out, backboard play. Ferry Peak going to leave this for K-Dot, who's actually back in the defense this time, so no chance to present itself. He challenges for that midfield control, and fantastically so as well. Throws off the offensive and Oxygen. They'll get upfield, but they will not be able to get a shot.
Vitality are bunkering down as well. Jay knows how that third man is always so far back. Vitality know that this could just be a one-goal lead, and they're looking to hold on. They're respecting their opponents right now. It's awesome to see.
20 seconds. And again, Vitality have control. If they can keep that control, they win. Midfield challenge from Alpha. Astral coming up. Lacking in boost, but still having enough to go for this play. Being out Ferry Peak, unable to beat out K-Dot. Ferra comes up now. 8 seconds left. Short set doesn't know where to position himself, and that might cost him here. Chance available. Pass up to Astral. Ferry Peak inserts and gets the disruption. K-Dot takes it away. Back to blue control and onto the floor. 4-1 series in this game. Renault Vitality are moving to the grand finals.
What was it? I called it. Jay. Yeah, back in the group stages. I was about to say yesterday, it was 2 days ago, that Vitality always drop one game in the tournament, at least. And they do not drop on the final day. This is them going through to the grand finals. And with a performance like that, they are currently the most convincing team to take this entire tournament. Vitality secure themselves a top 2 finish at the very least. Oxygen move on down into the lower bracket, and I feel like Oxygen didn't play bad at all. You see how close they were, but it was just every single play was just edged out and read so well by Vitality.
And that's the thing we were talking about the most here, is the fact that it's nothing to do with Oxygen's problem. It's all down to the fact that Vitality are just playing so well right now, and they really are. It's working perfectly for them. They are in the grand finals with a confident sort of stance. They get their bracket reset chance as well. So Oxygen will have to fight their way through that lower bracket to get a second crack at them. We'll go to a break and find out who their opponents will be after this, so do not go anywhere.